It is time for another international adventure. I have made my way to the West Bank, the Palestinian state. We've got hero dirt today. It rained a bunch before we got here. Oh, there's some marble slippage here. This is called the Sugar Trail, one of the best trails in the Middle East. I think my goal with doing these videos everywhere I travel is to show that there's so many beautiful places and so many cool people, and that we're so much more similar than different. It's always easy to find a new way to hate each other, but mountain biking always brings us together. So we started the ride around 2,300 feet, and we're going to end at negative 770 feet. That is just too cool. Finishing a ride below sea level. I've never done it. We've got the ancient city of Jerusalem behind us, and the even more ancient city of Jericho ahead of us. They believe it's the most continuously inhabited city in the world. More than 5,000 years plus of inhabitation. Got our local guide Tall up ahead. Helped put this whole trip together with my buddy Mike, who Sarah met at Harvard last year. He loves coming to Israel and mountain biking. He's an American guy. And also Renan, one of Tall's buddies, is a commercial airline pilot. The history here is just absolutely ridiculous. Everywhere you look, there's something that's totally woven in to the fabric of our cultures. They believe that one of these hills here is where the term scapegoat came from, where they had to sacrifice the goat to absolve every one of their sins. Tall was saying, oh yeah, over there, that's where David fought Goliath. In the Jewish religion, they don't really have hell, a burning pit of despair, but they do have a place called Azazel. And if you want to be mean, you say, hey, go to Azazel. And archaeologists and historians believe this is Azazel. We're in it right now. So Tall said, if anyone tells you to go to Azazel, say, hey, I already been there. It's not that bad.
I'll tell you what is bad though, getting turned upside down and inside out by my travel and not taking the time to drink my AG1 by Athletic Greens, the proud sponsor of today's video. I start every day with a scoop of AG1 because it is the foundation of daily health, comprehensive nutrition, and gut health support in one simple scoop. I brought along all the travel packs I would need, but of course with the rushing and the stressing and the sleeping, I only managed to get one drink of AG1 in during the trip on the first day. And of course, after a few days of not drinking my AG1, I could feel the aches and pains come back into my joints. My stomach stuff is never very good as a baseline, whether I'm traveling or not. And the big kicker, the second I got home from the trip, I got sick. My lesson has been learned. I need my AG1 to help keep me on the right track. I need the 75 different vitamins and minerals and adaptogens and probiotics. It would take so many different pills and potions to get all the goodness that's wrapped up into one scoop of AG1, that same scoop that is trusted by the world's best endurance athletes. I'm back home now, back in my routine. I'm healing up, doing my best to make those healthy choices. And my first choice every morning is AG1. Head on over to athleticgreens.com/BKXC and you'll get 5 free travel packs with your first order. You just have to promise me you'll actually use them while you're traveling. You'll also get a full year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2. A big thank you to AG1 for sponsoring today's video, and an even bigger thank you to anyone who's tried AG1 using my link. The support has been fantastic. It has impressed AG1 so much that they've signed on to sponsor my videos through the rest of the year, which is just an amazing thing to keep me riding the best trails in the world. Oh yeah.
Nasty, yeah.
So a few hundred years ago, someone had the good presence of mind of building this open air cistern, basically digging a big old hole in the ground where it seems like no water would be able to get to, but during a crazy flash flood event, the water will actually come up over this entire wall, fill up the entire cistern, and then it's kind of hidden away in the shade and available for later use. It's so hard to imagine all of this water coming in and flooding. Tal said this is probably 16 feet deep. And because it just rained recently, it is very full and very fresh.
Oh man, it feels good to get in the wind, get the evaporation going. Whoa. Yeah. Sugar. Nice. It's so interesting to think about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and what it means, what a border is, what a country is, and how belief is almost everything. Violence is another huge part of it, but the Soviet Union fell apart because nobody believed in it anymore. Belief holds everything together, and the Palestinians believe. Whoa. Tal said it's extremely rare to ride this trail with no dust, and we have not seen dust quite yet.
But we did see quite a lot of rain in the north of Israel where I started the trip. Of course, I flew from SFO to Tel Aviv with a stop in the middle. It was the first time I did not pay to fly with my bike. Usually it's $150 each way, minimum. Sometimes it's been as much as $300 each way. Oh, so nice. Our first stop was a fantastic burger at BBB, just what I needed to get charged up. And then the next day, we had a more traditional Middle Eastern meal at the Druze village where Tal lives. We had zatar, makmal, and mansaf. I did not need to eat dinner after having that massive lunch. We went over to the University of Haifa to check out the view of the Mediterranean Sea in the north and the south. It was amazing. And then on this morning, we woke up super early, loaded up the bikes, and headed south, but it wasn't early enough to beat the traffic. Along the way, I grabbed some local currency from an ATM. It's called the new shekel. 100 shekels is about 30 US dollars, so basically I'm dividing by 3 most of the time to figure out what the prices are. We drove through Jerusalem and entered into Palestine, the West Bank, where we met up with Abu Fadi, our shuttle driver, who does this all the time for all kinds of mountain bikers that come to ride the Sugar Trail.
Oh yeah. Goofy. Oops. That's what happens when you don't follow the guide. I think my arms are sunburned immediately. Thought I had a little bit of a base tan, but nope. Oh yeah. Hey, that reminds me a little bit of Santa Barbara. That rough stuff. wonder if we're at 0 elevation yet. Oh, some moto guys. Whoa. Windy. Oh, wow. This mosque looked so far away when we first started, and now we're here. This is the Mosque of Moses. You know, Islam, Judaism, and Christianity all have a lot of overlap. The Abrahamic religions in the Old Testament. Moses is the star of all of them. Okay, maybe not the star. God is the star. Ooh, never mind the trash. Cool. Oh, huge clunker.
So we're not gonna jump in the Dead Sea today, we're gonna save that for a later date, but we did get to go to this really cool abandoned resort where the Dead Sea used to come right up to the brick here. And then year after year, the Dead Sea started receding further and further away, and you can't have a resort next to the Dead Sea when the Dead Sea is like a mile away. I couldn't help myself and I had to get another burger for lunch. Every burger I had in Israel was like top notch. I am a burger snob and they hit them all out of the park. This place was called Muzza and they had really cool sports memorabilia coated over, just covering up every single square inch inside the restaurant. The magic from the Middle East has just begun. I've got some more great riding videos on the way. Thanks so much to my buddy Mike for helping put this trip together, and my buddy Tall, our local guide, for just handling so many logistics and doing all the heavy lifting. So grateful. And it just so happens that Tall and Renan just launched this new online coaching platform for everyone that wants to get better on the bike. They've got lessons that you can watch on your phone, on your laptop, on your TV, anywhere you want to watch them. Then you go out and practice those lessons, film yourself doing those lessons, upload your videos to the coaches, and they tell you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. I think we all watch a lot of videos, and then probably less of us actually do the practice to get better, and then even fewer of us get the feedback to figure out what we're doing wrong. So I think this is a very, very cool cycle to make you better on the bike. Head on over to my Patreon if you want to check out these videos early and extended. A normal video might be 15 minutes long. An extended cut over on Patreon is normally about 45 minutes long. So for $3 a month, you get 3 times the riding. I am so stoked on keeping these international adventures going and just having the most fun possible, making the most fun videos possible. But I do have a favor I have to ask of you. Go ride something new, and maybe I'll see you on the trail.